welcome everyone to the Decod3rs channel. Tonight we have a special guest that I've met in a Twitter space, I guess, because that's where he's like spending all of his time on crypto Twitter. So it's DeNomics from Skribr Network, and it's going to be hosted by VPIF. Doug, hi, how you guys doing?
Good.
Wow.
Good to be here.
It's really great, like DeNomics, to have you on the channel because I met you probably during the VP space, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yes, line of sight up. Yeah, yes. Probably.
That's what we do on every Monday and Sunday. And
Monday and Friday.
Monday and Friday, true. Yeah, true. It's on Friday. It's not on Sunday. There is nothing on Sunday. But
good work.
Yeah, good job, Vincent. That's so sweet. Like that's so OG. It's too bright, right? It looks good though, but it's playing with my brain. So anyway, thank you so much everyone for joining us on the Twitter space. As I've already told you, like we are also live on YouTube. Hello YouTube. If you have any question from DeNomics, from Skribr, do not hesitate to ask on the chat or by raising your hand. And now, like VPIF, you're going to lead the way of this stream. So because Skribr is like your bread and butter now, because you have your Solana sign up on every Monday and Friday, 12 p.m. Yep. 1 p.m. CET, whatever. 12 p.m.
It's 7 to 8 a.m. EST.
Yes,
Let's just keep it easy. That's the time, 7 to 8 a.m. EST.
Yes. And
I am on the Skribr. I am presented by the Skribr Network.
Yes, part of the Skribr.
And I'm very part of the Skribr family.
That's
and
cool.
Happy to be so. So, hi DeNomics. Thank you for joining us.
No worries.
I guess the first question is, how did you get into crypto, Web3, all of that?
I actually started my crypto journey back in 2017, like a lot of people. I dabbled a little bit, got lucky like a lot of people, went through the roller coaster ride that everyone else did. But I did see like massive potential in this space, even though I sort of didn't come out that well after the big crash in 2018. I definitely saw the opportunity and the potential in this space. So I got myself educated in finance and started doing some courses. I got mentored by a couple of different people around the world in different industries to really, learn the ins and outs of financial markets. And after a couple of years of grinding, I ended up being asked to join one of my original mentors, poached me to sort of come and work for him and teaching other people how to trade as well, especially in sort of the leverage trading background. And from there, just sort of spiraled out of control. I used to run my own motorsport business. I'm a mechanical engineer by trade and ran my own business for about 12 years and eventually got good enough at trading that I could basically sold my business and just focused purely on trading for the last nearly 4 years now. That's been my sole profession, is just trading crypto and equities and commodities, and that's pretty much me.
Pretty cool, man. True OG. Like, you had the experience of one full cycle, which is cool.
Yeah, I've been through a couple of cycles now. Yeah, it's interesting. I enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly, right. It's like the accumulation phase, right?
Yeah, I think everyone has to go through it. Like a lot of people, you see new faces come into the space every time.
Yeah.
And you can almost just pick their journey. You know what phase they're on in the cycle, where everyone sort of goes through that phase where they think they know everything and they're invincible because they're making absolute bank. And then you go through the bear market. You're like, all right, you've been initiated now. You've made a fortune. You've lost it all. Now it's time to learn how to do this properly.
Bro, like just during this bear market, like I wanted to sell all of my crypto at, if Bitcoin would have touched 80K, it never went there. So like I just write it down. But I learned so much during the last cycle. So no, I'm not going to do the same mistake again.
Yeah.
I need another one.
You gotta have a really strong will to know when to pull that
Yeah.
ripcord, so to speak.
Exactly.
Hard to do. It's harder than people. It's easy to say. It's easy to look at the chart and say, "Oh, that's where I should have sold," but it's in the moment. It's a lot harder to actually pull that trigger.
Let's just wait one more 10%, so I can get to that number, and then it never happened.
Exactly.
And then you done 80%.
Yeah, and then it's too late now.
Yeah.
Too late now. May as well hold.
Exactly.
Yeah. When they go low, I buy more. That's where I'm at these days.
That's what we do.
It's what we do. So, all right. So that's how you got into crypto. So, I guess, how did you come up with Skribr? What was the initial plan? And like, now that you've officially launched, the website and everything, like, what is the intention? Like, what is the problem that you saw that Skribr fixes or solves?
So Skribr's gone through a few name cycles already. We originally called the Bullpen, and it was primarily just a group of me and a bunch of mates and a bunch of guys and girls who I had taught how to trade over the last couple of years through various communities. And we sort of all came together as a bit of a hangout place where we could share trade ideas and learn from each other and play games of poker. And it was just a bit of fun. And that was before I was really even into the NFT space. It was really just trading and just a social hangout. As things sort of progressed, we ended up changing our name to the Syndicate because we started to do a lot of grouped activities when it came to investing and things like that. So we called ourselves the Syndicate. When we started to get a little bit more serious about turning this into a business, I ran into a whole heap of drama when I was trying to, register the domain name and register the company and all that sort of stuff. The name was taken everywhere and it was just impossible to work with. So we ended up having to change the name, and that's where we went through a bit of a workshop of coming up with a name, and that's where we landed on Skribr. It's a bit of a play on words from subscriber, but using some alternative spelling, just due to the ability to get the correct domain names and things like that. It's almost impossible. You got to use alternative spelling. So that's sort of where it came up, where we came up with the idea. But what it originally was, like I said, it was a bit of a social group for traders to come together and hang out. But what we started to do as a group, there was a few of us who would sort of branch out and do research on certain things. So we didn't, I guess the problem that we were solving internally was, all these different Discords and stuff have what they call alpha callers. But what we were seeing was just like a bunch of kids talking about some project that's 4 Sol and then take profit at 4.5 Sol. I'm like, wow, you made $6. Congratulations. Like, is that what you guys call alpha calls? Like, this was ridiculous. So what we started doing was we would actually do in-depth research on specific projects that were coming out. So we had guys that would dive into Discords and interview the founders and get all the information and write up a full piece of information, like a full article, research paper, I guess you could say, for the rest of our members, and sort of say, hey, this is what I found on this project. Do you guys think it's worth getting into? And we'd sort of discuss it and things like that. But then, that was sort of gated behind our community. And then we thought, well, why don't we allow everybody to see this? Why don't we create a website where we can actually share this information with everybody else? Because we're doing some really good research. We're writing some really good reviews and papers on these projects. Maybe we should be sharing this with everybody else to help with project discovery. So that was sort of where the idea of making Skribr into a business and allowing everybody to see it. And then it sort of spiraled out of there. We're like, well, why don't we, write articles as well? Some of us write Medium articles. Why don't we add that onto our project research and have, a place where people in the crypto space could write, really thoughtful pieces of information, education, investment theses and stuff like that, and start writing articles on our website and creating that sort of content. Previously, I used to do a lot of YouTube videos and I've done a lot of live streaming. So we wanted to add that element as well, and podcasts with Twitter Spaces blowing up. So it sort of just spiraled out of there, and it ended up just becoming this big platform for people who like to create content to be able to, create that platform for them to share that content into one space. So instead of having to go on YouTube and Spotify and Medium and trading view and all that sort of stuff, we could just share it all in one place and try and make that, you know, a really cool place to come and get the information that you need. So that's sort of, I guess, the goal or the problem we were solving. Yes.
Can we join as a Decod3rs?
Of course you can.
I'm already joined.
Yeah, but as a VP, like the brand is VP.
Huh?
Decod3rs branding.
We can get you in there. We're definitely open to working with a lot of people. It's
cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool what we're doing.
You're not happy with, you want to keep it Skribr for yourself?
No. It's fine. It's fine. I just like have to find a new she shed every like month or so. He joins a Discord that I'm in.
Yeah.
That is kind of like my sacred Discord.
Oh.
You know, so I have 0 she sheds from him. It's like my own little private space where he doesn't invade. But no, you're welcome to join Skribr.
Yeah.
Where I go, you go. Yeah,
exactly. That's what works.
I'm super excited. Super excited.
Yeah, I can see it.
No, we'd love to have you there. No, yes. And I went for the first time. I went to they have a happy hour where they check charts and do different things, and it was super interesting. Like, I actually went there to hide out from the basketball scores the other night. But yeah, I learned some things. It was fun. And DeNomics played games, and we watched. That was fun too.
Okay. Oh yeah. So
you're trying out the new Fox Club game.
Yeah, he was trying out the new Fox Club game.
That's cool. Okay, so you stream it on Discord and like people join and stuff.
Yeah, we a few times a week we have like a traders hangout and like an NFT hangout. So we'll a bunch of the traders in our group will jump on there and share charts. We'll talk about the market. People ask us questions, we'll answer them, like anything. NFT one, we just sort of look at what's trending in the market, look at the different cycles where we think the money's flowing. Just talk about upcoming projects and stuff like that.
The other night you were doing like a comparison between, wasn't it the S&P 500 and blue chips? Wasn't that it?
Yeah. So we're doing
super interesting.
Working out a ratio between the overall market volume versus the S&P R50. On Soul Sniper, they've got a chart of like the top 50 blue chips in Solana, and I was comparing the volume per day between the S&P R50 and the overall volume, working out that ratio and seeing how money flows from, money generally flows to blue chip. So when the blue chip volume makes up the majority of the overall volume, shortly after that little run, the money flows to the mid caps. So we were looking for those opportunities to jump into the mid caps, and then sure enough, a bunch of them popped the other day. So it was good. We all made a bit of money.
Yeah.
Is that the same thing with NFT, or like people are like going from bottom to top?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a natural sort of progression of money flow when it goes from risk off to your low risk assets, which is generally your blue chips. Then it goes to your mid risk, which is your mid caps. Your projects like Lily and Oogie, and then your high risk point is when people start doing all the degen mints and buying all the meme coins, and that's generally when you have the pop and we reset. Everything dies after that, and we go back to the start. There's just these little mini cycles that happen every now and then.
That's cool. Do you trade that?
Yeah. As long as you're aware, like it's just a matter of like the trading is very much a psychological game. It's basically if you know more about the psychological side of trading than everybody else, then you can use that to your advantage. You just play everyone against each other. So I focus a lot on social sentiment. So I'm a regular user of Twitter, but I'm not so much regular poster of Twitter. I normally use Twitter just to engage or get a gauge of sentiment and see where everybody is on that cycle. Then you can sort of get an idea of where to shift your money. Because if we're at that sort of phase where everyone's down bad, no one's buying anything, well, now I know the next phase is blue chips. So I start looking for those low entries onto SMBs or OK Bears and Rascals and stuff like that, knowing that they're about to pop next.
That's interesting. So, that's okay. So for example, so like an example that I followed pretty closely was like Asset Dash, like the mint, like where everyone was saying like, it's way way too expensive, like the market condition is not like, you can't sold out quickly in those market conditions, etc. And then like it sold out 10,000 units at 5.5 in 20 minutes. Like, do you think like that's the sentiment? Did you trade it, or did you analyze it too?
Honestly, that one took me by surprise, and I was actually in a risk-off period during that.
Me too. Okay.
I didn't know enough about it. I honestly, because I wasn't really in a minting phase myself, I was sideline capital, so I wasn't really interested in anything.
Okay.
And then that popped up, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that might do well. I saw the price, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if the current market is ready for that. And then I saw the sentiment on socials. I'm like, wow, everyone's pretty bearish on this. I don't know if this is going to go too well. And then, I was surprised. I woke up the next morning. I'm like, holy shit, as it just sold out really fast. I was really surprised.
Yeah.
So, it was good for anyone who minted it. I was sidelined on that one, though.
Fucking almost missed it. I was like walking back from the gym and like I saw like 60%, 80%. And so what the fuck?
That's when the FOMO kicks in. When you see it selling out, you're like, holy shit, I need to get this thing.
It has massive impact on like the secondary market sentiment and like the first week / months of the project.
Yeah,
for sure. And thank you, Ryan. Beautiful hoodie. Love me some Vimeo.
Vibrant Bitcoin hoodie.
Yes. Like, and in the camera, I see that I'm a bit overexposed. I think it's because of the color of the hoodie. That's too bright.
Either that or the background.
No,
blue,
it's the contrast. It's the contrast.
That's possible.
Yeah, just makes it pop.
Yeah. I'm popping.
Like, you look like a tangerine.
Thanks, Ryan.
It's great. It's wonderful.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We're testing, we're iterating.
What?
We're iterating with like the contrast and stuff. Yeah.
Integrating with
Iterating. You don't understand me anymore? What the fuck?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're iterating into a fruit bowl. What are you talking about?
Oh, it's like the colors.
Fine.
Anyway.
Fine. It's amazing. You're right. Okay, fine. So in terms of your spaces, who's your favorite? Just kidding.
Don't make me choose favorites. Not live.
I mean, no. So we have Solana Side Up, hosted by somebody amazing. And then you have Shill and Grill, which, as the name suggests, is you have several projects, or is it just one project per episode?
We did toy with doing multiple projects, but I've been involved in a couple of those style spaces before. And when you're working with a couple of projects at once, it either ends up a really long space, or you just don't give everybody enough time to really get into it. So we decided to just do one project at a time. We like to ask decent questions and get right into the depths of it. And that's sort of like the grill part, is we ask serious questions that people should be asking, and not just the normal fluff. Because a lot of people get projects on and it's just flowers and AOs, and it doesn't really go anywhere. You don't really learn anything about the project. It's just a little bit of marketing. Yeah. So we just do one project at a time. That way you can really get into it.
Yeah.
Nice.
The worst thing is when you ask a question and the answer can like apply to every fucking project on Solana.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but yeah.
You gotta ask specific questions.
Yeah.
You gotta, I want to know specific questions about your project, not just the blanket, what are you gonna do? What's the benefits to the holders? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have some spots soon available? Is that every week?
I'd love to get you on, man. We actually, I was going to bring this up before because we were talking about the time zones and stuff, right? This is my biggest issue in Web3 right now. Yeah. I wish somebody would come out with the product here, because I feel like this is the biggest pain point in Web3, for me anyway, in Australia, is the time zone difference. Everyone's working on a different time zone. You'll say CT time, V will say EST, I'll say AEST, someone else is. It's really hard to like, I've got to look at the app and like go, oh, what time's that? Oh, that's 3 a.m. Oh, fuck that. So it's a real pain in the ass. I want to see someone create an NFT standard time where everyone just works on NFT standard time. I don't know what time that is, but that'd be really cool to see an NFT standard time created, a way that we can all network together and know exactly what time is when.
Well, that face is saying, "Hold my beer."
Yeah,
Here comes NFT standard time from Vincent.
The reason I brought that up is we have a lot of trouble coordinating with people to get on the Shill and Grill. Like we've got an endless supply of projects to bring on, but when we get chatting with them, it's like, oh, that's 4 a.m. their time, they can't make it, so we got to cancel and move on to somebody else. And yeah, we had one lined up last week, and same deal, they couldn't make it because the time zone was all messed up. So we'll be happy to get you on, man, as long as you're keen to work within our times. That's it.
I don't have time zone in my life.
Yeah.
I'm time zone free, bro.
Yeah, we don't have time zones in our life. Well, I mean, I only do because I have IRL job, but I mean, Solana Side Up is always 7 to 8 Eastern, no matter where I am. So I when I was in LA, I was waking up at 3 a.m. and doing it.
Or something.
So.
Yeah, we're used to odd times in Australia because a lot of the mints and stuff take place like 3 a.m. for us. So we're used to waking up earlier, trying to catch it. So
and taking up at 2 p.m.
Yeah. So no, but Decod3rs would love to be on Shill and Grill soon.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
Sure.
That's cool.
Just be prepared. I'm going to grill you though, man. I'm going to ask you the hard questions.
Yes.
He actually loves that.
I have questions for Skribr.
Good. I like
it. So you have Shill and Grill. There's psychological investing with Alderon. Is that
philosophical investing? Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's a good one. It often goes on for a long time because it's sort of just go for the flow sort of thing. But yeah, that's a good one as well.
Cool. And are there any other spaces?
We've got a bunch that we want to do, but we're going to work up to it. We're going to just keep it easy for now because it does get, like on my end, trying to schedule everything. We've got a lot on, so it does get pretty tricky trying to coordinate it all. But as we grow and get the systems in place, then and have more hosts to take care of it, then yeah, we'll definitely do more. We plan on, ideally, we want to have something happening almost every day. Something, whatever it might be, variation of shows, but quality shows. We don't want to just do the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, I can't wait. And then, of course, as soon as I get out of IRL again, because I only work, I guess we'll say seasonally in movie season. When I get out of IRL, I have ideas that I'm bringing to the table, so I can't wait for that either.
On a run the table.
Yeah, cool. Excited.
Quick question, like to schedule a show, is that better to have a slot that is always the same, or you can you schedule your show whenever you have a time?
I personally like a show that's on at the same time every day. Like it works out pretty good for me when I take my kids to school. I normally get to catch like the end of Easy Eats show. Was it Solana Mummy does one with
No Fluff.
Soul Sniper?
No Fluff. Oh.
Yeah. No, he does Soul Sniper NFT one. And then I used to catch like the Fox Club, and there's a few that work really well for me because I'm driving the kids to school and back, so I get to catch those spaces. So I do like those regular scheduled spaces because I know when they're going to be on, I know what I'm going to listen to. But I do often find myself sort of flicking through going, who's on, what's on. Yeah.
I found that just keeping to the same time, was the way to go. So even though I travel, I kept it to the same time because I thought people aren't going to, especially for a while there, Twitter was acting up and people couldn't actually find spaces. So they would just look for people who were in spaces. Everybody knew if they looked for my name between this time and this time, that chances are the space they were clicking on was my space. So yeah, I just found that being consistent was the way to go.
Who do you recommend with the guest?
What?
Because if it's always at the same time, then any guest is like in somewhere else. And then
they've had to wake up early or stay up late. Or I just don't have them on my show. To be
I'm the
honest
same.
with you.
If you can't make it, you can't make it. I'm not going to adjust the time.
Yeah, no. If I always plan to do different shows. I just haven't had the chance because Solana Side Up started as 6 days a week. I've now gone down to 2 days a week. Yeah, it was a grind for a while there. It was a grind, and I took it from 6 to 5, and then we went from 5 just in February to 2. And the 2, especially for where the market's at right now, is perfect especially because it's a Monday, Friday. We start the week off right. Yeah. It would get to Wednesday some days and I'd be like, crickets.
Yeah.
But no, and I mean, I would say I guess there's an argument to be made for it's a little bit like that occasionally with me, but that's more like me just being tired, if I'm honest, at the moment. But yeah, it's people actually love it now because it's a great start to their week and end to their week, and they look forward to it. And they do easy or Primus or whatever else is there in between, so they get to mix it up.
Yeah, think about that.
Yeah. So anyways, enough about us. More about Skribr.
We're talking. It's a conversation, right? It's not like just question. We're chilling. Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, okay, so you have more spaces planned, and then like what ideally in your mind like is your like 3 to 5 year plan, if you can share it with us, if it's not.
Yeah, I can definitely share a little bit. So I guess the biggest piece that we're working on is the mobile phone app. I feel like it's a massive missed opportunity for most people in this space that are building in Web3. When there's stats out there showing that, like, I don't know what the stats are, but it's something like 70 or 80% of people are on their mobile phone all the time. So why is everything browser based when everyone's on their phone? So I really wanted to tackle that mobile space with building in Web3. So our major piece that we're building is the phone app, which is it's just a mobile version of our website. Basically, it's getting a bit of a revamp. But the idea is we've got some really creative ways there that we're going to be able to curate that news feed. But essentially, it's like a news feed mobile phone app with things that you can sort of subscribe to in terms of like content or tags and stuff like that, get push notifications. But the idea is to get that information delivered to you instead of having to go and find it yourself or spend hours sort of scrolling on Twitter, because not everybody has time to do that. Not everyone has the time to sit there on Twitter looking for the new projects. Imagine if you if you subscribe to, say, new projects, and then you get a push notification to say, hey, there's a new project that we've just written an article on. We've just updated it into the database so you can read all about it, learn all about it. There's a Twitter space, blah, blah, blah. You can just click the link or click the notification, and then boom, there's all your information about the project, reviews, articles. You can learn all about it, how to get whitelists, all that sort of stuff. We want to sort of put that into people's fingertips nice and easy so they can sort of catch it on the go without having to sort of search for it themselves. And yeah, we've got a few ideas there to gamify that and make it a little bit more fun for the user. Interactions with social media and stuff like that. But it's basically just going to be a content delivery platform. You're going to get Twitter Spaces, podcasts, from Spotify sent directly to your phone, articles, project updates, chart analysis, crypto reports, everything you can think of. You just sort of curate your feed based on your interests, and you'll get that information. But it's not aggregated. So like a lot of people in the space doing, I guess, maybe similar stuff to what we're doing is more aggregated information. So they're just like copying something from CoinDesk or pulling something from somebody else's post on Twitter. We're not copy pasting stuff. We're not aggregating information. Everything that we do is created. So if you get a notification that there's new information, we've created it. We've written the article ourselves. It's not somebody else's pieces.
Okay, so you become a media basically.
What was that? Sorry?
That's a media, right? Like that's a traditional media of like, you aggregate everything and then you make it better and distribute. That's cool. And what could be the business model here?
The plan is to have millions of downloads. We want this to be the most downloadable app whether you're into crypto, DeFi, NFTs, it doesn't matter. You're going to get what you need on this app. So obviously a big goal there is to just make it a very high number download app. In terms of like monetization, we've got many ways to do that with in-app purchases, with things that we're going to be doing in the future. There's always things like affiliate programs and stuff we can explore. Advertising, marketing is probably going to be a big piece. We're in the talks with a few different people at the moment. And obviously we work pretty closely with Links, which is the guys from Fat Cats, which you guys had on last week before. So we're going to be doing a lot of marketing and stuff for them as well. So any projects that they're incubating and launching, we'll be doing all the marketing sort of in-house, articles, project updates, YouTube videos, all that sort of stuff. So we'll sort of help get the exposure that they need there. So yeah, we've got a few ways to monetize it. Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, just need the $1 million download there.
Yeah, the million users. Yeah, it'll take time, but we're in it for the long run. We're not here to try and make a quick buck. We're trying to create something that is, a very used thing in the space, a big brand that everyone knows, and hopefully gets a lot of value from. Like the idea is there's a couple of parts to it, not just to deliver information to people who are already in the space and want updates, but also to help bring a lot of new people in. So we're focusing a lot on Web2 audience, like targeting Web2 audience to educate them on just even the basics about like what is a blockchain and how do you set up a Solana, a Phantom wallet? How do you use this exchange? So there'll be a lot of really basic information to help onboard a lot of people and bring them into the Web3 space. And that sort of comes from the fact that I spent nearly 4 years in crypto, which I considered myself plugged into the system, and I still didn't even really have a Web3 wallet because all I did was just play on centralized exchange. I was on BitMEX and Binance and FTX, just leverage trading. I never actually really got into using blockchain technology. So there's a lot of people out there who have been involved in crypto for a long time, whether it's buying shit coins on CoinSpot or something, or whether they're trading on Binance, but they don't actually, I would say they aren't plugged into Web3. They don't use Web3 wallets. They don't really do anything in the DeFi space. They think NFTs are stupid. So I want to help educate those people and say, well, hey, you've been buying Bitcoin and Ethereum and trading shit coins on Binance for the last couple of years. How about you set up a wallet and I'll show you how to do some of this other stuff and just sort of bring people into that space. I think it's a pretty untapped space right now that people aren't really helping.
Yeah, like the tricky part is like taking people off of like Twitter, making like 10,000 views of like pictures on the beach with like Rolex because they took profit to an app when like then you have like quality content. Like I guess like the value proposition is like you get what you want in a term, like you only see what you want to see. So if it's created well and like then you provide high quality content, then there is a market for that.
I believe so. I definitely believe there's a market for high quality content in this space. I feel like that's a massive ball drop from a lot of people.
Yeah, no kidding.
Not yourself, bro. You do an amazing job.
No, but bro, that's why also like we started the channel. It's because the difference of content between Web2 and Web3, crazy. Like the level to entry is so low in Web3.
That's it. That's what I was about to say. Like the level of investment you make in yourself, like the fact that you've set up a studio and you got the cameras and the lights and you're taking the time to set up a channel and all that sort of stuff. You're actually like investing in yourself to produce this content. Whereas, like you said, the barrier to entry right now is set up a Twitter account and copy paste a bunch of shit for some engagement farming and call that content, or host a Twitter space about content. And it's just like the level, like the quality right now in Web3 is absolutely shit.
Yeah, no,
like I jump into a lot of spaces. I'm there for about 3 minutes. I'm like, I'm out. This is crap.
Same.
Just talking shit.
Same.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say I was really surprised that people like gravitated to my space. But then when I look at everything that's out there, there's nothing for like a first time Web 2 to Web 3 person. but it's not like you have to do this. MySpace is like, hey, come hang out and chat, and we'll guide you through this. So like new people come and they don't feel intimidated necessarily because we're just talking. Like half of the time we're talking about regular stuff, and then we'll maybe roll into something about an NFT or a project or whatever, and they'll be like, what are you talking about?
Structure.
Huh?
But you've also got some structure to your calls as well. That's the thing that's a little bit different. I feel like a lot of people just have a space with a bunch of mates just for the sake of, I don't know,
Doing
talking
content.
bunch of mates and then calling it content. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah,
And
some
the
days I do, some days I don't.
Or maybe we're getting old.
Yeah.
Maybe we're getting old.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That could be it.
True.
Yeah.
David Lee, thank you for that.
We in general in the universe of things.
What are you talking about?
We getting old-ish.
Yeah, no. I heard it. Yeah. We all are. It's unavoidable.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. It's just like, I mean, it's like there is, because okay, so
are you having an existential crisis on the air?
No. Why? No, like
it kind of seems like you are
trying to develop a thought.
A thought.
I mean, like, okay, so in a world where like it's getting easier and easier to become a content creator, right? Like you go on TikTok, like you get hooked as soon as you create a fucking TikTok dance, right? On Twitter, as soon as you make a tweet, then you become a content creator because you put yourself out there, right? So everyone is becoming a content creator. So and then again, like the barrier to entry is getting lowered, and then we have this quality of space that are like for the best average, or like sometimes crazy, not my jam. And then like, have you already joined a space when you are like completely enlightened by the host and the guest, or I don't know, even like Web2 spaces? I don't know, like I saw some like Grant Cardone space, or like big guys, you know, like politician and stuff going on space. I already joined those kind of spaces.
I mean, I went to the Lauren Boebert one for about 5 minutes the other night.
Is that good?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And the Grant Cardone, it's not my vibe.
Yeah, he's someone, but like, I mean, that for that level of celebrity and stuff like that, like even rappers or like Ice Cube or Snoop Dogg's or Eminem or whatever.
I went to Soulja Boy's space. That was entertaining.
Well, what I don't really get is, I don't know whether this is just me being old, but when I think of content creation, it's because you are, you've got value to bring. You've got education or information about a topic, and you're trying to share that with people. And that to me would be content, or maybe it's entertainment or something. You've got some sort of skill that you're sharing with people. And that is what I would consider content. But there's a lot of people who just want to be a content creator for being a content creator, not because they have something to share.
Yeah.
They don't have a skill or a background in something that they want to share with people. They just, they strive to be a content creator or an influencer as their profession with no context to it. And you find that what they really get hooked on is just posting shit to get views and followers, and then talk about their followers every 5 minutes. Like it means something, like you get a trophy. And I don't know, I'd see it as just very, very empty. What's the point? What's the point of getting 10,000 followers? What's the point of doing posts every day on Twitter if you've got nothing to actually share of value? You've got no business to promote. It's just literally talking shit all day to then brag about how many followers you've got.
And it's quantity, not quality. Which is, I guess, the part of the game that I don't play very well, because I don't tweet unless I have something to tweet about. So like,
that's how it should be.
So
you've got nothing to say. Like, don't say anything.
Yeah. So my follower count is a reflection of that. And the other day I like I did something that I don't often do, but I did that comparison thing, and I'm like, how does that person who's not that interesting have 18K followers? And then I started scrolling down their timeline, and they tweet every like 5 minutes
Yeah.
all day
Who's
long.
active right now?
But it's the game,
I have no
right?
idea. I can't remember who it was now.
It's the game too. So like the goal is like to be successful because you want to achieve certain a certain goal with your project, etc. Right? So then you have to play the game of like social network and stuff like that. So and this game has like some rules and like again like post that works and post that doesn't work, etc. Again, like it's kind of like the project like Rave 3 with like we discussed with the MetaJit, because you want to promote positivity, right? But the tricky part is like with positivity you do less use than when you go against like hot tech or like you go against people, you know. So it's going to be really interesting to see how his project is going to like unfold and like develop, because he's going against the game of social network itself. So it's hard. But if it becomes successful, then it has to use something that's pretty great and make the world a better place.
Yeah. It might just be the demographic of your target audience as well. So like
true.
You just mentioned that right now in this Web3 space, you're likely to get more engagement from a negative post talking about some controversial topics in the space, as opposed to actually providing value.
Yeah.
But does that mean what you're doing is wrong, or does it mean the current audience is up to shit? Whereas if you did that same sort of content to a Web2 audience, they'd probably appreciate it a lot more. Which is sort of something that I've realized and why we're sort of taking a different approach rather than trying to market products or engage so much with the current plugged in Web3 people who are just looking for negativity and shit to shill or whatever. We're targeting a different demographic that might actually be interested in what we've got to say and will consume the content that we've got because they want to learn and they want to move forward in this space. Until that changes, then there's no point us marketing towards that.
And that's what I see, like, you know, in the YouTube dashboard, like for the channel, like the demographic right now of the people who are watching us is like between like 25 and 35. It's perfect. That's basically the audience, because it's basically who we are, right? So like we talk to the people that like looks like us and like do at the same level in life, etc. And that's perfect, right? Because then we can connect with the audience and the people that consume the content. Yes, VP, what do you want to say?
Nothing.
Okay.
I'm listening intently. This is what it looks like when I listen to you. It doesn't happen very often.
and like, for example, another example is like on the channel, like I don't know if you saw like the thumbnail and stuff, like it's really like artistic and like looks like, you know, like the goal was for the thumbnail of those, like the channel was to create like an NFT art kind of feel. Like, you know what I mean? Like it could be a PFP and it could be like artistic vibe, but it doesn't really follow the YouTube guidelines, but like a way of doing a thumbnail, because, you know, you have to do faces and shit like that to get more views. But it's a deliberate choice. It's a choice that we've made to look to make the channel like look like a bit better and like artistic in a way. Is that a good decision in a term of like we're sacrificing engagement and views, but the thumbnail looks good?
No, because
you know what I mean?
You're sacrificing those numbers for quality though, and sometimes quality over quantity. Like you mentioned before, you might get, let's say on a video, you might get half as many views if you don't post one of those typical thumbnails. But the views you do get are probably people who are going to sit through and watch the entire video.
Exactly.
Now, if you did a silly, stupid thumbnail, you might get twice as many views, but you've seen the stats yourself. How often do people drop off after the first 5 minutes?
Exactly.
Because they're the type of people you're attracting with those thumbnails, are the type of people who have a short attention span. And if you don't give them a buzz in that first 5 minutes, they're looking at the next video. And it's the same thing with Twitter, like with a post. If you type interesting information on a tweet, you might not get as many views, but the people who do view your content are probably reading all your content. If you post a silly picture and a quick engagement farming thing, you're going to get shitloads of views, but they're all mindless views and people are just flicking through and clicking to the next thing. So sometimes it's better to curate higher quality, get less views, but you're getting more value from it, in my opinion.
But
Yeah.
is that a way also like to build your audience too, where you have, in a best world, like you have to do both, like you have to have posts that make like 1 million views, and then you have to provide values, because then these valuable posts are also viewed by more people. Like, and it's kind of tricky. Something like, you want to launch an NFT collection.
Balancing out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like you have to talk to people who are, oh, fuck, the space rug. Shit. Okay, so we are only available on YouTube now. So
I think you just got to mix it up with a bit of both. Like, stick to your roots with the quality, but if you've got to do a few shitty posts to push some engagement and get some more views, because it's all about tricking the algorithm, right? So you might do one of those silly thumbnails every now and then to bring in a whole bunch of new people who are now on your radar. So the next time you do post something else, you might pick up an extra couple of decent subscribers who are going to follow every video you do and check out your website and maybe even buy your NFT sort of thing.
Exactly.
But if you're just posting crap all the time, I think of it as a conversion. Like the conversion of crap content, you're going to get lots of numbers, but very low conversion.
Yeah.
If you're posting quality content, you're going to get lower numbers, but higher conversion rates.
No, 100%. Yeah, it's a mix.
Yeah.
It's life. You have
it is about the balance though, because for example, with me, I get a lot of, oh, you're so wholesome, as if it's a bad thing. So I've kind of balanced it out. So I mean, you've come to some of my particularly like more kind of edgy spaces recently. But I don't go too far that way either. So there's something for everyone, but I still keep it overall wholesome, as well as when I first started, I would go to a lot of spaces. I had a lot more free time, so I would go to a lot of spaces, and people would actually resonate with me in those other spaces and follow me and hop into mine. So I think it's important to represent yourself like fully and genuinely and authentically,
you'll
because
naturally attract.
People will always.
I think resonate. Like the authenticity, it's way more important than everything that you do, and like people will come for you at the end of the day, right? And that's what matters the most, I think.
Yeah. 100%.
Request to speak. I'm just rescheduling this. Relaunching the space.
Relaunching the space. Okay,
yes.
Got it.
So,
in terms of content, like what are you gonna do? I know you said you previously did YouTube content. Are you gonna be doing YouTube content with Skribr?
Yeah, we will. We've got some really cool stuff planned for YouTube. I don't want to give out too much information because, like anything in this space, I feel like the copy paste meta comes out, and I feel like as soon as we do what we're going to do, I think a lot of people are going to go, "That's dope. I'm going to do that too." And I mean, people are naturally going to do it. I don't really care. It's going to happen. But I just want to make sure that we get out what we really wanted to do first and get that attention, because I do think it's very unique. It's innovative. And I think it's a really smart strategy to get a lot of eyes on us with what we're doing in a quality way.
Nice.
But yeah, we will be doing a lot of YouTube content. There will be like long form information. So, 10 to 15 minute videos, really cool information, market updates and things like that, a little bit of education, but there'll also be a lot of shorter form content, whether it's little cut scenes, but also skits and stuff like that, which would be really funny.
Nice.
And building a little bit of a brand around our YouTube channel. So like our branding is kind of difficult to understand, but Skribr is like our brand. It's the whole thing. And our mobile phone app is going to be called Skribr. But then the YouTube channel is going to be Skribr Network, and it's think of it as like a broadcasting network, like ABC network sort of thing. That's kind of what Skribr Network's going to be. It's going to be the YouTube media content, whereas Skribr, the brand, is the content as a whole.
Got it.
We need to be. Can we distribute it on Skribr Network, please?
We'll talk.
Okay, we talk.
Yeah.
Let's talk business.
Oh my goodness.
When we've got a million users on our app and everyone's watching all our videos, you're probably going to want to join up.
That's why I want to be early, bro. I do early stuff.
I am
we'll make it
early. Hey. Finally, something I'm early for, earlier than him. Hey.
And yeah, but by the way, like, what do you think about like the difference between like content via the voice and like the video? Because like again, like Elon Musk like said like, yeah, Twitter will like adopt like video support too, right? So we will get that pretty soon. I think it's already released partially, at least, like when you will have like long-term form of video content on Twitter, which will be freaking massive, I think, for ever like YouTubers and stuff like that distribute their content on YouTube, can be massive. But yeah, like, do you feel like some content that should be on voice only and like videos only, and like yeah, every part of content will be better on different support, or just produce the content and see what sticks?
I definitely think there's a space for both of them to be around. I don't think like video will take over voice only. I actually really enjoy listening to podcasts and stuff, especially when I'm on the go. If I'm driving or something, I'll have a podcast on. So I definitely see like podcasts being a thing, especially in the Web3 space where everyone sort of has that, that anonymous identity sort of thing.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are going to want to do video content. You'll probably get the more prominent sort of content creators doing video content, like people like yourself, or Easy Eats does a lot of video content. People like that will take advantage of it 100%, and I think it'll be great for them, like you said. But I think the majority of people will stick to voice for that anonymous sort of non-doxed sort of situation.
Yeah.
And the ease of just like starting a space, you just flick a button and you can start talking.
Oh yeah.
Whereas video, I mean, if you don't have a good setup, you just sort of, you got your laptop open or whatever.
Yeah. Like the video is definitely more stuff.
There is something to be said for the fact that I can sit in bed and run my space, and I don't need to do my hair, and I don't need to like even put moisturizer on my face. There is something to be said for that. This does not happen with no effort for video.
You can still keep it pretty casual doing video content. I remember
you can.
I used to do a lot of streaming and stuff like that. And I remember doing streams, you'd be all kitted up here, but then you'd still be like in your boxer shorts or just have like some tracksuit pants on below.
I think for women it's different. I think there is a huge difference for women too. Yeah. There's
ordinarily more criticism coming our way, so unfortunately. So I don't usually have my hair out during my space. My hair out. Yeah,
me neither.
There's not. Let's go back to DeNomics.
Yes, let's do that.
My God. Yeah. So, did you have another question?
Yes, I still have a lot of questions for DeNomics Pro. But we're gonna run. No, shit, it's already 55 minutes. Bro, I love talking about content creation. It's cool. Okay, so bro, like, what makes a great content creator?
I think that's different for everybody. Like, it's a kind of a subjective question. For me, what makes a good content creator? Somebody who knows their craft. Something I don't like is seeing people forcing content, like creating content for the sake of creating content. I like to see people creating content about things that they know about. I like thoughtful, educational, informative content personally. Might just be the person I am. I do like entertaining stuff as well. So yeah, when it comes to like what I believe is a good content creator is somebody who knows what they're talking about, whatever their content is about. And also the level of production, like I mentioned about what you do. I like to see people invest a little bit of time and money into themselves with what they're doing. You've bought the good camera and the good lighting setup and you got the backdrop and everything. Like, invest in yourself. If you're going to take this job seriously, put some time and effort into doing it properly. So I like to see that with creation as well. I like to see a little bit of editing, with a video as well. It goes a long way. But yeah, also I guess like the topics and stuff. But again, that's subjective. Everyone's gonna be interested in different stuff. I like thoughtful topics. I'm not a big fan of just someone shilling stuff all the time. It doesn't interest me. But if you've got some interesting conversations to have, I'm all over it.
I need to join
What
your
are you laughing at?
philosophical.
I was just thinking about the time that I think you were there, that we talked about being attracted to people's voices. And I'm just thinking, how thoughtful was that?
Yeah, no, I don't know if you saw like a comment.
It was very, very popular though, and a lot of people got triggered. It instigated a lot of conversation. It was great, actually.
Have you seen
unexpectedly.
David comments like need more kink discussions too? That happened in your space.
That happened in my space. Yeah. We did
a lot of things happen in the space.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I mean, Vittler didn't like it, but yeah, we did have a conversation about fetishes. Because it was a very slow week in NFTs. I'm not into the shitcoin, so I couldn't shitcoin it up with people. So I spiced it up in another way. Yeah.
That was a bit too spicy for me. I don't like spices.
Yeah, he doesn't like spices. He only likes his own. He only likes to flavor everything with his own spices.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a little. He left. In fact, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it got too hot. Yeah, no. got too hot in the kitchen for him that day.
No.
Anyways, no, we had a fun discussion. I know that, was it Leeway? Leeway loved it, so there's something for everyone.
Exactly. Yeah, and about that, about education versus entertainment, do you think there is a possibility to do a mix, or you either do more 80-20 or something like that? Because that's the most sticky content, or basically something that do both at the same time. But it's hard to do a joke after saying, "Oh yeah, you should invest in S&P 500."
Yeah, it's a tricky one. It's a very unique thing, and that's actually something that we're going to be doing is incorporating entertainment into, I guess, education or informative information. That's something that we want to tackle, and it is tricky because, like you said, it's hard to be funny or entertaining whilst giving serious information. So it is an experiment. It might not work. If it doesn't work, we might have to go back to the drawing board. But I want to give it a try because I think it'll be good. I think it'll be fun.
I mean, if you can crack that, bro, you're gonna get 10 billion views.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to crack that, unlock that code. If we can do that, I think it's going to absolutely explode. And that's why I was saying I didn't want to mention too much, because I think if we do crack that, we're going to see everyone try and replicate it. It's just Web3 is full of dilution. As soon as someone does something that's cool, 16 people come out the next day launching the same thing. It's just the dilution and saturation in this space is incredible. So that's why I'm sort of holding what we're doing pretty close to myself, because I want to launch it and then go, bam, this is what we were doing. And that way, if anyone tries to copy it, they're sort of far behind.
Okay. I was not aware of that. Sorry, just a quick question.
Well, I mean, I think that, how everybody's like, oh, we need to onboard people, and it needs to be they don't even realize. They don't even realize that they're being onboarded. In a way, that's kind of what's happening, or what I hear happening, or what you're planning with your entertainment. And I would say the same about MySpace. It's it's a regular conversation, and then somebody comes in and doesn't even know that they've, and they start asking questions, and they kind of get onboarded that way. I have had a couple people brand new to the space like MySpace and come back and then get into NFTs, and then suddenly they're making NFTs. Like the guy who did my theme music, I was one of the first spaces he ever joined, and he didn't really know anything about anything at the time, and he's since become somebody who does music NFTs. which is so
Awesome.
great. But I like, for example, I guess my favorite content creator in terms of comedy, but also talking about NFTs all the time is K Money. I think he does a really good
that's right.
job
That's
of
true, yeah.
blending the two things, and it's something that he always finds a way to make it kind of a universal theme. So even if you don't know what the fuck an NFT is, you can still
True.
have a laugh, right?
Yeah,
I think he does
he's
a
brilliant.
really, really good job.
I
you
think he
can see
does
it in his
an absolute
following.
brilliant job of
Yeah.
bridging those two things you're talking about, like education and entertainment. He does an amazing job. It's so funny to watch.
But is
Yeah.
it because he is able like to mix up like the culture like of Web3 to like again like you said like Web2 Web0 memes too, right? And like have it being fun that way.
It makes
That's
it
pretty cool.
universal. I mean, and
Yeah.
anything that's successful is universal. For example, all of the Disney films have a story to appeal to the kids, but they have a B story that appeals to the adults. And it's always universal themes because the adults have to go see it as well. Kids can't go on their own, right? So, I mean, anything that is super successful, that is the game plan. To make it a universal theme that a lot of, I'm sorry, except for what?
Like the new Disneys are kind of trash now, but that's another discussion.
I think that, I mean, I know a lot of kids who like Frozen and Moana and all of that stuff. That's all new stuff. So that's a matter of opinion.
But you can.
I'm sorry
bring
they
the
don't
Lion
make
King.
Cinderella and the Lion King anymore.
Yeah, but like the Lion King, please.
Yeah, but they did the what's it? The real life one. What's it?
No, that
Live
doesn't
action?
exist. That doesn't exist. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, we're getting off topic. Continue.
We should do an after show too.
Yeah. No.
I mean, like, we're already over the hours. So do you have more time, DeNomics, or we already?
I'm free, man. Yeah, if you want to keep going, I'm good.
I mean, we don't have like a lot of like. Do you have more questions, Vipif?
I don't have. I mean, if you want to go to your wrap-up questions,
Yes,
you can, unless you have other burning questions.
Yes. But yeah, before that, okay. So what's your focus right now, like DeNomics for Skribr, and like this question that can go with that is also like if a content creator is watching this video and like want to apply for Skribr Network, like what's the process?
Okay, so our focus right now, we're probably still in like early development stage with the mobile app. So a lot of my personal focus is like the design and features and stuff, and we've got meetings with app developers and stuff. So we're working heavily on that right now. But I do know where we're lacking, and a lot of that is, in that social media presence. So we're sort of juggling many things at once right now, but it's just because we're still trying to build those foundations and have those systems in place so that we can just focus on purely producing content and everything else just sort of goes smoothly. So that's probably my focus right now, is just building those foundations, getting the app out, getting those systems in place, and so we can just run smoothly. In terms of like how to get involved with what we're doing, like just join our Discord and reach out, contribute to the community, make yourself known. We just look for people who can produce decent content. I'm not interested in the copy paste influencers. Just because you've got a big following doesn't interest me, because it's not going to help us grow our business and what we want to do. I'm looking for people who have interesting thoughts, interesting discussions, can probably stay away from the negative, controversial shit all the time. And then we just sort of hire within people who are within our Discord and helping and contributing. We sort of reach out to them and give them a spot, and it'll grow from there. Hopefully make a name for themselves in the industry.
I'm gonna check I already joined the Discord like to prepare like the show, so now I'm gonna check your events more often and join.
Yeah, we do. We have a lot of events. We normally have like a good 8 to 10 events a week.
That's cool.
Whether it's Twitter Spaces or game poker events and live streams and stuff. Pretty busy.
Let's go.
The happy hour is great. You should definitely join the happy hour sometime.
Okay. I want to join the philosophical discussion. I want to get there.
The philosophical,
Yes.
Okay.
That's very cool. I'm excited.
Okay, Freud.
Okay, it's cool. Okay, so it's quite open to like, if you're watching this stream and you are good content creators, subscribers. Subscribers. French accent, sorry, bro.
It's all good.
French accent, and he adds S's to almost everything that doesn't need an S.
Yeah, but I don't understand. Like advisors, I'm sorry, but advisors make sense.
Gossips does not make any sense. Well, I mean, yeah, English doesn't make sense. I agree. English doesn't make sense. So you just have to learn it. Yeah.
Anyway.
There are a lot of, I never realized how many things are plural and singular until I started talking to Vittler all the time, because he adds all of these S's. So we get gossips and advices, and I'm like, no, you don't add
spaces.
S's.
Spaces is one that annoys me. Do you call it spaces, or like, are you hosting a space, or do you say I'm hosting a spaces?
For me,
I say I'm hosting a space.
It's a name.
Yeah, that's what I would think. But I hear so many people say I'm hosting a spaces. I'm like, isn't it a space?
Yeah,
bit of space.
It would be I'm a spaces host, but I'm hosting a space today.
Yeah,
that's how I would say
it. Every tweet, like it's Twitter Spaces. It can change to join my space, and then it's where I don't know. People do what the fuck they want with my tweets.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last question that I ask to every guest at the end of the show, just to wrap it up. So, what's the question that you wish people would ask you, but they never do?
Oh, here's a hard one. I don't know. Like I don't really have one.
Okay.
I like talking about problems in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Not just talking about them. I like coming up with solutions for problems in the industry. That's always interesting topics for me.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't really have anything personally.
Okay. That's cool. Like a lot of people saying, "Oh yeah, who are you?"
How are you?
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, we never get asked how we are, like, because they're founders, or that they're just people who are in leadership positions. So they don't really ever get asked, how are you doing? Because they're always the people that people are looking to for the answers.
Right. It's because we talk to a lot of like NFT founders, and everyone is burnt out, so everyone is sad, and like depressed in their bed. So that's why they require people to ask them what they are.
Yeah.
Again, the last question: who should be the next guest, and can you make the introduction?
Next guest for this show?
Yes, sir.
I reckon somebody who would be really good to have on, who I find really interesting. I recently joined the Dead King Society. Dylan, Turned Up Dylan.
Yes.
I find his tweets absolutely fascinating. He is someone who I really respect in the industry. He's always got really good takes. I think me and him think alike with a lot of the stuff that he says. I agree with a lot of it. I think he'd be a really interesting person to bring onto the show. I don't know if he's doxed or anything like that, so he might not want to come on. But yeah, he's a really
all the time too.
Yeah, we just like some. You can upload the PFP. I know Dylan. I think I already talked to him about that. But yeah, you can make the introduction, and then he's gonna say, I know Vittler, blah blah blah, and then we're gonna push him to come up. That's good.
Well, I'll tell him I've nominated him, so he has to go on. I'll tell him it's a thing.
Okay.
It's on record.
Yeah, it's on record.
Video, visually.
It's like the ice bucket challenge. Like, you got to do it now.
Let's go. Let's create good content.
Fantastic. Well, it was such a pleasure to have you on. Thank you for coming.
No worries. Thanks for having
me. Yeah, exactly. Vip, if you want to wrap it up, so you MC the whole stream.
I MC the whole stream. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thank you to our guest, DeNomics from Skribr, who we heart very much. We will be back soon. What else do we have lined up this week, Vittler?
Coffee break in like 8 hours.
Coffee break in under 12 hours. We'll be back at 6 a.m. my time, 6 a.m. Eastern. We'll be back with coffee break, and then who else do we have on this week?
I have like 2 DeFi shows with Ash talking about DeFi, and I will list all of the Skribr show that I'm gonna join the week. So don't forget to join.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, hop into some Skribr shows this week. There's another Shill Grill this week.
Yeah, we've got
Yes.
Shill and Grill tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow my time. Again, we need to work on this NFT standard time. But yeah, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. No, Australian
Eastern Standard Time. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got what is it? The Ocean Explorer project on for Shill and Grill, and then what is it? I now can't remember now. Philosophical investing the day after, and then Solana side up again after that.
Hey.
Ooh.
Okay, so yeah, you got a nice selection of things between Decod3rs and Skribr to go check out, you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of the night. Have a great rest of the week.
See you later, guys.
Yeah, see ya. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel because you can get whitelist for Decod3rs Mint. Thank you, everyone. See you in 8 hours and enjoy. And don't forget to claim your views if you're watching this.